Hello everybody, and welcome back for more Let's Play Kingdom Hearts Reverse Rebirth. In today's episode, we have next Disney World coming upon us right here, and then we will see in just a sec, because I do want to get this one out of the way, because I really want to at this point. Next up is Wonderland, and can I just say, fuck this world! And you'll definitely see why I absolutely hate this world so much. It is, you know, without a doubt, well, by far at least, because I don't know what Halloween Town has to offer for the card deck. Because, you know, because this is going to be the last world we're going to be going to, but this here, by far, is actually my least favorite world. This one can kiss my ass, honestly, and the reason for that, the reason why I hate it so much, and, you know, and for the fact that it just factually sucks, is that, well, you know, after I get done with checking the map here, you'll see in just a sec. So we're going to go right into battle right here, and then you will see. As you can see here, this is our deck right here, only 9 cards, and not only that, all of them are low number cards, and that's it. They're only up to 1 to 5. No 6s or up or anything like that. And yeah, you can see here that, well, I guess I probably should use a Mickey card for this one here, because I actually just happen to have it with me, though. But yes, honestly, fuck this world. It can go fuck itself. And, you know, it's because of the deck that they give you, which is all nothing but low number cards. So when you're in battle, you're going to be having either a lot of card breaks, or there could be some certain Heartless, just like, you know, the Creeper plants, and also, well, especially the Creeper plants, so maybe the Crescendos to a bit of a lesser extent, but the Creeper plants are definitely the most notorious for that, where, you know, they just love to use their 6 cards, which is, you know, higher number cards than we have here. So, yeah, this is literally the deck they give you here. Just, you know, just from 1 to 5s. No high number cards whatsoever. So, your only chance of getting a high number card is just your Mickey cards. So, that is what... Oh, by the way, yeah, I was going to... This is actually my first time showing off. This is Holy Burst. So, if you have a Mickey card and 2 attack cards, then both Riku and Mickey will have their own kind of attack where they just shoot out these energy orbs right at the Heartless. So, yeah, I haven't really showed that off yet. So, yeah, that's what it looks like. So... But yeah, that's literally what they give you is just these kind of cards, and that's I gotta say here that I'm taking points off of this one here too, because like this really reeks of bad game design is what it is. So like the way they give you these low number cards, and I also want to say here, guys, and I actually did this one here too, because, well, I mean, maybe I shouldn't have done so, but I want to warn you guys for this, though. Do not, and I repeat, do not use Almighty Darkness for this here. Or as a matter of fact, you know, more importantly, try not to go to the dual system very much, because, you know, because a lot of times, unless you have some high number Mickey cards, then some of the Heartless will actually have 6 cards, and you don't have any of those, so you're going to fail those, and then you're going to be left wide open to attack. But yeah, so, jumping ahead a bit here, I actually do end up using the Almighty Darkness at this point, and I know I shouldn't have done that, but I'm actually, well, I mean, you'll definitely see why, though, so I mean, once we actually get to it, then, well... You'll definitely see here. So, as a matter of fact, once you actually do get the Mickey cards, then, you know, I would recommend that you go ahead and use the Mickey card itself, though, so that way there, all the Heartless will get stunned, and then that'll give you your chance to actually be able to attack them while they're stunned. So that they're, you know, in case they start swarming the high number cards. Only if you're lucky enough, because, you know, this is all luck based, and as a matter of fact, this is basically like a, you know, some RNG that they have here. So I mean, that's just what it is. You know, it's just RNG is what it is here. So so if you're just lucky enough for the Mickey cards, then, you know, I would just say go ahead and do so. Use Mickey cards so you're able to easily stun the Heartless. But yeah, this is without doubt my least favorite world, because of the fact that they only give you the low number cards, and that, I'm sorry, this is bad game design. It is. I don't know why the developers clearly did not test this thing out or look into this and fix this whole thing. No, they just kept it as it is, and I don't know if it was the same issue in the GBA version, which, of course, you know, if it was, then, you know, then of course they didn't even bother to fucking fix the damn thing, the lazy assholes. So yeah, clearly they did not even play test this thing, and, you know, and they just left it right then and there. So yeah, if you this is the true definition of bad game design, by having these only these low number cards, and, you know, you'll be having Heartless else for these high number cards too, and, you know, go with the dual system that, you know, you're gonna have a little luck, and even the boss of this world too. So yeah, why is it like this? This is just shit game design. It really is. So So yeah, that's the reason why I hate this world so much, because of the low number of cards that they only give you. So yeah, this, I don't know. This is actually one thing Sword does have over Riku is you know, having the freedom to actually just customize your own deck here. But no, it's because these decks they already give to you, and so yeah. So I just want to get this out of the way so we're there, you know, because you know this is without a doubt the worst world in the entire game because of it. So so I guess yeah, that's pretty much all the ranting I had to do for this here as to why this world sucks so much. So anyways, yeah, like I said, I actually did end up using the Almighty Darkness. Well, not for this room though, but later on, because like, you know, the other rooms. I mean, usually I always go for the same matching number cards that's shown to me, and I also don't really want to use the same room cards that I've already used previously though. I mean, that's kind of how I do here. And yes, I know it really doesn't matter which room I use at all. You know, it's just you know. How people play the game, and I gotta use that. So you know, if you guys tell me that that I could have used the same room cards, you know, you're right. I could have. I mean, I will agree to that. I just didn't do so because I mean, you know, I guess it's. I mean, I don't know. I just kind of do things in a little more organized fashion and all that. So I mean, maybe to kind of challenge a bit here. I don't know, but you know, but I wouldn't really overexert yourself. So I mean, you know, you guys don't really have to do what I do here. I mean, it's just you know. Exactly how I was doing it. So I think this is actually where, well, you know, first I used Moment's Breathe. It is a good thing I decided to use Moment's Breathe for this one. Because, you know, for one thing, I definitely will need it. Actually, as a matter of fact, it is best to use Moment's Breathe in case of a shit like this, because there were a couple of times that, you know, and I guess, you know, part of it would be me kind of regretting to use Almighty Darkness, but I did go through it in the end at the very least, but I actually did die to a couple of Heartless, and as a matter of fact, because the numbers were so low, and you know they keep using high number cards, I had to run out from the fight. Well, as a matter of fact, the one time I actually did run out for the fight is because you know the crescendos were there, and crescendos are also one of the worst heartless in the game as well, aside from creeper plants, because you know the creeper plants would do the high number cards, and yeah, this is actually where I used Almighty Darkness. So yeah, that was a bad move on my part there, but I guess, you know, if you're using Almighty Darkness, then it probably would be recommended to, you know, make sure you fight the Heartless that are either Shadows, Soldiers, or probably the spell-using Heartless, or the large bodies. Maybe large bodies, because, I mean, they don't really... I mean, they can be annoying to deal with because of their bellies being immune to attacks, but at least they're not too much of a pain in the ass, per se. But, you know, but if you're up against the Heartless, like, you know, Creeper Plants or Crescendos, then you definitely wouldn't want to fight them if you're using Almighty Darkness, because, you know, like, you know, Creeper Plants, you know, well, both Creeper Plants and the Crescendos are among the worst Heartless in the whole game, because Creeper Plants, they love to use high number cards, and they can also hurt when they use their Bullet Seeds against you, too. And also their thorns are protruding from the ground. And also Crescendos, the way what they do is they can heal their allies, and also they can also summon another Heartless too, making the fight a lot longer than it's supposed to be. So yeah, if you ever see them, if you're using Almighty Darkness, I recommend you escape first and then go back to them, because whenever you escape from a Heartless battle, and then you go back to it, and something I've noticed is that, you know, there will be some different Heartless here. They always randomize. So the first time I ended up against the Crescendos, but then when I escaped the battle and then went back to them, then it was only the Shadows and the Soldiers. So yeah, that's actually one thing I've learned about, is that, you know, like if you escape and go back to it, then the Heartless could be different. So they kind of randomize right then and there. So at least I was able to go through that and get some experience. But there we go. I did it. I actually went through the Almighty Darkness here, but yeah, I personally wouldn't recommend it, though. I mean, I did it anyways, though. It was a bad move on my part. So, but, you know, but I wouldn't recommend it either, though. But at least, you know, just fight the Heartless that are kind of easy to deal with. Like the more common ones and not the ones exclusive to this world. And then I guess you should be fine. And so unless I actually use a kind of card that's a little more beneficial, like the Meeting Ground, where, you know, just use the Mickey card. So, yeah, the few times that I was ever given so much shit, and that was only mainly because of the deck that was given to me, because, you know, you're definitely going to have a miserable time, only because of the deck they give you. So, you know, again, real dickheaded and shitty game design is what they did. But But yeah, your only chance of luck is that you have the Mickey card, because at least the Mickey cards would still give you high number cards. So there's that at least. So, you know, just make sure to use them as much as you can if you get them. But the times I was ever unlucky, though, is when the game decided to not give me any Mickey cards at all. And so I was having a lot of trouble. And so another thing I wouldn't recommend is because of the low number cards that you have here. Yeah, with only high number cards. So that's just bad. So I definitely wouldn't recommend to use a slate so much, or at least just stock up the cards. So I mean, you know, or at least just don't use slates in general, though, because, you know, because again, like they do, that, you know, the first card they use, they disappear, and so you'll be running so low on cards, especially the Heartless that'll keep trying to use the high number cards. So anyways, so now we're at the boss room, so let's go and use those up here, and then we'll use this one. So the only good thing is that this world isn't really that long. There are not as many. There's quite a few, but there's not really as many. So it won't really take too long, though. Thank God. All right, so now once again we're up against Trickmaster, and Trickmaster can also eat a dick too, and especially, you know, yeah, we're here in dual mode, but at the very least I was able to be successful with using the high number cards against him, though. But the only kind of a move that you have against the Trickmaster is Maelstrom, and Maelstrom is, for the most part, borderline useless against it, because, you know, because of the fact that that Trickmaster is tall, the Maelstrom isn't really that useful, because, you know, what Riku will do is that he'll just spin around like this here, because, you know, the legs are immune to attacks, and then only the upper head is only vulnerable. So what Riku will do is that he'll just use that uppercut right there. So you just spin around and just use the uppercut, and that's how it only damages this, though. So that's the only use for it right here. So, and that, yeah, it can pretty much suck. I mean, we're all play sirens up here. I don't know what's going on right now. There's been a lot of emergencies. I mean, not surprising, you know, because it is kind of city here. So, anyways, yeah, and you want to make sure to watch out for the Shockwave too. Well, as a matter of fact, yeah, even the Trickmaster will still use high number cards. For the most he'll ever do is just, like, you know, 8s or 7s. But yeah, if he's using 8 or 7 cards, then you can't really do anything about it at all because of the low number cards you have here. So you have to wait till he's done attacking, so that way you can just get a chance to attack. But he'll also just use them all in a row. So once he's not using the cards at all, then you know, that's just your chance to attack here. So yeah, that's another thing you need to watch out for. Is just, you know, just pay attention to what kind of cards he's using, and then just wait till he's done. So like when he's using like some attacks, like you know, using the shockwaves, and you can just jump over them. But thank God I got the gimmick card right here, so that way there I can actually be able to actually use that, and then just try to gain the upper hand too. So yeah, I used Dark Break, and so that's how I finished off, just using Dark Break, because at that point I was getting really aggravated with the whole world and all that, and so I just went ahead and used the slates right then and there, because I was I just really want to get this done. And I also should have used a Maleficent card for this, because, you know, again, I forgot to do it. Well, I actually forgot because, you know, I was just so annoyed, and very, you know, my irate level towards this world while I was recording this was high up, and, you know, it kind of it already kind of skyrocketed when I was struggling against Heartless. So yeah, I was so irate that I actually forgot to use a Maleficent card, because I really wanted to be done with this world, and, you know, I mean, at least you guys didn't really get to see how much really agitated I was through the whole thing, and, you know, it was all like, you know, rage-like. So yeah, I forgot to use it right then and there, but, you know, I should have used that, so that way there I would have ended this battle a lot quicker. But as a matter of fact, I actually did die against Trickmaster. Well, you know, if I ever die against a Heartless or Trickmaster themselves, again, only because of the card that they gave me right here. So yeah, the way they did this kind of shithead design is, you know, it's very much risky, and, you know, will give the players a much more miserable time. So yeah, so I've said this before, I'm gonna say it again. This is without doubt, bar none, the most dickheaded, the shittiest, and, you know, worst absolute game design that there ever is here. So anyway, we're done. No more of this.
Vexen is no more.
Yes, his scent is gone. Axel struck him down, something I find deplorable. agents of the organization striking each other down.
Our problem is Sora. Vexen proved to be no match for him. Yet he's still under Naminé's control.
But we cannot eliminate Sora, can we?
Correct. For our superior, he is in dire need of the Hero of Light. When light loses sight of its path, we may find use for the dark. What we must do is obtain the darkness.
Riku, of course.
Just one card left. If I get through this, will I be free of the darkness?
Wow, sure feels like it's been ages since the last time I ever counted the words darkness, because the last few episodes I didn't have them. Alright, so now we have one card left, and this is actually at the point where Axel very brutally murdered Vexen, so you know, we're probably going to see more of that here. So, anyways, one card left, and then we should finally be done. We also learn about, you know, what the leader of the organization really needs Sora for. Well, just a little bit, though, so... Anyways, next time Let's Play Kingdom Hearts Rebirth, we're going to go through our very last Disney World here, and then we shall see what happens. We're almost done here, folks. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.